Hello, my lovelies. Today I'd like to read you a story. Yesterday I told you a story. Today I'd like to read you a story. I thought I'd read a little bit of Searching for Summer, the book I'm hoping that you've started reading, and we're going to talk about more in March. But I thought if I start with a little bit of a reading just now, then any of you who haven't started yet might get that wee extra, oh, yeah, I'd like to read on feeling. That's what I'm hoping anyway. So, here goes with starting at the beginning of Searching for Summer. Excuse the specs, they're a bit old lady, but I'm an old lady, so it's fair enough. Okay, Chapter 1. The letter had finally come, and Maribel suggested they should go out for a meal and to the cinema to celebrate. She gave Summer a quick one-armed hug while shoving her bare feet into floppy sheepskin boots and preparing to rush out the door to work. After all, not every day a girl gets accepted into uni, she said, giving her daughter a kiss. Imagine, a lawyer in the family. Yeah, well, don't count your chickens and all that. I might never graduate. You will, chicken, I know you will. You always finish what you start. Not like me, Maribel laughed. Scatty as they come. I'm proud of it, Summer muttered. That would really stick it to Aunt Hannah, though, wouldn't it? It was said with a sneer. Snotty bosom. Summer, that's my sister you're talking about. No worse than you think about her. And don't think I haven't heard you and Yvonne say more or less the same thing. That's enough! What was wrong with your mother anyway? 3 sisters, 3 dads, and you bang on about me and morals. I said that's enough. I will not have you talking like this about my mother or my sisters, right? She chose to ignore the sulky look she got in reply. Gathering herself and her bits and pieces together, she took a count of 5 and composed herself. Anyway, honey, don't let's spoil the day. She gave her daughter a smile. Celebrations are in order. Summer scowled. Yeah, big deal. Now, you know I've never been much for throwing a party. Love them. Think it's the Jamaican in me. Always up for a bit of carnival. Hands in the air, bracelets scurrying down her plump arms into the folds of loose sleeves, she gyrated her large hips to an internal rhythm of the Caribbean. Love, 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 a party. The rows of beads trailing from her neck bobbed and swung, a colourful waterfall of sound. Just no good at organising them. One last shimmy in defiance of the look of disgust directed at her wobbling boobs, and she handed Summer her school bag and urged her towards the door. But we absolutely have to celebrate somehow. You'll definitely be home from work in time, Summer asked with a sigh. Of course I will. Summer stood her ground, blocking the doorway. There's no of course about it, Mum. You're never home before 8 o'clock. The film starts at 7:30. If we're to get something to eat, you need to be home 6 at the latest. Okay, I can do it. Don't get your knickers in a twist. Summer gave her a scathing look. Oh, that's so yesterday. Well, I'm a yesterday girl. Could have been a great flower person in the 60s. She held out her long multicoloured skirt and spun round on the spot. Her many rings and bangles sparkled in the light cast by the ornate crystal-encrusted chandelier in the tiny, overbright hallway. Being a teenager in the 90s just didn't have the same cachet. You didn't need the 60s, Summer scowled. True. Oh, she cooed, stroking her daughter's cheek. Look at your pretty wee freckled nose all scrunched up there. She tapped it gently. Do I embarrass you, my petal? All the time, Mother. Maribel shrugged. Well, get used to it, kiddo. I'm unlikely to change. Words tossed behind her with the kiss she blew as she grabbed a shawl from the back of the door. Draping the material round her shoulders, she picked up her big floppy bag and danced past Summer, out the door and down the communal stairs. Unlikely to change. Words she'd later long to take back. To rewind that day, push herself away from her desk, away from the stack of papers, step crazily backwards, her shawl flying from the back of her chair into her hand, draping itself round her shoulders. Retreat through the office door, pulling it closed in front of her, her feet faultlessly finding the flight of stairs behind. She'd back down them, seeming to sink into each step, her knees straightening and flexing, straightening and flexing. Then walking backwards out into the street, her head bobbing as she took back morning greetings from colleagues and strangers. Press rewind again to speed it up. The bus rushing in reverse, passengers seeming to get on, flying effortlessly up the step, their backs to the open door, ignoring the ticket machine, ringing the bell as they sat in their seats. Passengers seeming to get off, seeing only what they were leaving. Strange knee-bent drops from the open doors, taking their money from the ticket machine, catching it as it was spewed up from the top of columns of coins to jump into their palm. Maribel herself taking the leap behind her, leaving go of the handrail as her feet found the pavement. Back. A reverse salsa at the bus stop, taking back the sharing of her joy at the good news of her daughter's acceptance at Edinburgh University. Smiles disappearing into closed, reserved strangers' faces. Backwards, dancing down the street and up the stairs, rushing, unusual lightness in the ascent, up the stairs and through the door, and there and then, standing beside her daughter. "I'll change," she'd say. "If you want me to, I'll change." But with no rewind facility available, no benefit of hindsight in play, Maribel neglected to change old habits. She came back from the office, late as usual, with the customary flustered apology ready on her lips and a placatory tub of ice cream in her hands as she laboriously climbed the stairs to their flat. She'd got lost in the clutter that was her desk at work, writing reports about the safety or otherwise of other people's children. "Sorry, pal," she said as she pushed through the door. "Not too late, are we?" She didn't shrug out of her thick woolen shawl, though it was damp from the drizzle she'd hurried through. "Ready to go?" She pushed open the living room door. "Summer, you there?" she said to the empty room. Still holding the ice cream, a possible cause of the shivering tinkle her bangles made, she stuck her head round the door of her daughter's bedroom. "Summer!" Expecting to find her lolling across the bed or sitting at her desk, tapping away on her computer, Maribel walked in, the ice cream held out before her as a peace offering. But the bed, duvet neatly pulled up as Summer always left it, every morning, the bed was untouched, the computer unopened. Summer wasn't home.